under my shirt. I don't wanna talk about that, 'cause I got the love of a beautiful woman. Yes, nothing's gonna take her place. She make me feel just like a natural born winner when I'm not even in the race. That's why they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Never had a whole lot of money. I was never good at games and chance. When I'm playing cards with my buddies, where the money flies right out of my pants. Don't you know I got a little secret? It's the ace of hearts up my sleeve. And when I get home to my honey, she give me love like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. When I'm walking through my neighborhood, everybody knows I'm feeling good. See me smiling from my head to my feet. They say, ain't that Mr. Lucky coming down the street? Hey, that's me. I'm Mr. Lucky when you kiss my lips, when you touch me with your fingertips. I'm Mr. Lucky when you hold me tight. I'm Mr. Lucky when you kiss good night. Baby, they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky in love. You know that's right. Baby, 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 baby.
Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What's shaking on your Tuesday night? Tonight I'm going to tell you all about Al Capone's vault. Oh yeah, you betcha. Starving right now, looking at a chicken Caesar salad. SG Fanboy says that doesn't sound too bad, but I'm going to tell you right now, I want like a 42-ounce porterhouse steak right now. I'm craving some animal, and didn't get any at the grocery this weekend. Screwed up. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. The Doctorn here says, not going to say anything about the 4 small burritos I'm consuming. Burritos, they fall off the trees here where I'm from. Hey, there's Al Capone's gravestone right behind me there. Like, share, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff you can do for us for free if you'd be so kind. And then we also have, because we have to satisfy the almighty algorithm, but we also have monetization here. So you can actually, donate to the show if you'd care to. But the big thing I want to tell you is that people are very generous around yonder, and they give out gifted memberships. So if you turn on a gifted membership, then when someone gives them out, you can get one as a gift. Hence the term gifted membership. And then you will have the opportunity of completely ignoring our Sunday members only watch parties. There you go. And now we got 4 people watching. Okay. Randy Ramos, the chef, is in the kitchen. Hello, Randy. SG Fanboy said, this may seem crazy, but pickled beets on a salad is pretty damn good. It can be. Can be. People saying hi. Most cheerful chat room on the internet, as verified by independent sources. Let's see here. When a man named Al Capone tried to make that town his own, and he called his gang to war. Yep. Daddy was a cop on the south side of Chicago. Back in the bad old days. Back in the USA. In the heat of a summer night. In the land of the dollar bill. Anyway. Night Chicago died? Anybody? Me and the Doc Torn, we know about it. People saying hi. People saying hi. Julian Caesar says, if your name is Capone, you'd better be the boss. That's right. That's right. Dupa Dupa says, God, I hate that song. Hey, Dupa, you might be interested to know that when I was in like 6th or 7th grade, well, I could tell you by what year that song was a hit. Probably, man, I might have been, I think I was in 6th grade. I won a free album cassette or 8-track from the local radio station. So we went and got the free winner letter at the radio station, which my mom was so mad about. She was a pain in the ass. And then I went to the store and I got Paper Lace's album just for that one song. I like that song so much. And it's a good damn thing because the rest of the songs were even worse than that. Well, that's okay. It's just an infectious song is all. Daddy was a cop. And, you know, another one was big back about that time was everybody was Kung Fu Fighting. Surely not everybody was Kung Fu Fighting. Those fists were fast as lightning. In fact, it was just a little bit frightening as they fought with expert timing. There was Funky Chinaman in Funky Chinatown. Here come the big boss. Where? They took a ball and made it stand, body swaying from the hand. Julian Z says, Kung Fu is a state of mind, Jim. Let's see here. The doctor says not everybody was. The one guy there was singing. I mean, Carl Douglas. Was it Carl Franklin or Carl Douglas? I think it was maybe Carl Douglas did Kung Fu Fighting. I think Mr. Carl Douglas did Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting. Hey, did I mention I'm going to tell you about Al Capone's vault? Some of you may not know about Al Capone's vault. I'm going to tell you about it. It was a big thing. Tom, please tell me you didn't like Billy, Don't Be a Hero. Well, Billy, was that Bo Donaldson and the Haywoods? Billy, Don't Be a Hero was certainly no Run, Joey, Run. Daddy, please don't. It wasn't his fault. He means so much to me. Daddy, please don't. We're gonna get married. Just you wait and see. Run, Joey, run. Anyway. I do Drunken Monkey style on weekends. I like the wasn't it a Drunken Monk? There's one I think called the Drunken Monk or the Drunken Master. I know there's a Drunken Master. Billy, don't be a hero. Don't be a fool with your life. Billy, don't be a hero. Come back and make me right. And as he started to go, I said, Billy, keep your head low. That's some pretty cheesy stuff. That's some pretty cheesy stuff. I also was not a big fan of Telephone Man. Went to my apartment on a Monday at 1, singing, hey, lolly, lolly, chicky bum, chicky bum. Monday 3, I called the phone company. He said, hey, baby, I'm your telephone man. Let's see here. The Doctor said, I'm hearing these my childhood. Mother used to play these kind of songs. Well, they were all over the place. I remember Billy. Yeah, who doesn't? They beat us to death with it. I better open my thing. It's time to open my thing. Telling you what. Let's see here. Al Capone. Oh, come on, man. Man. I tell you what, man. I tell you what. It was a big deal at the time. And I'm going to tell you, Dupa says, you remember all these lyrics. I sure do. I remember them all. Because that's all I did was listen to radio. The somewhat solitary thing I could do. I like to read, and it's certainly something you could do at night. You know, your parents try to make you go to bed super early, and you listen to radio. Get the popcorn ready. Tom's opening the thing. Oh, you said popcorn. I might, if I can find a good enough movie tonight, I'll do the show, right? I'll eat my chicken salad, Caesar. And then I might eat some Dorito popcorn and watch a movie. That's starting to... Because I didn't do the headlights today, and I think I might run an errand tomorrow. So I sound like Bob Levy now. I got one thing to do tomorrow, so that'll take the day. Randy says, remember when we call into radio station and request a song? I do. All the stations I worked at were formatted, so you really couldn't play more than one or two requests an hour, unless it was a request show, I guess. Also, if there was a super popular song that somebody requested that was going to just play anyway, you would pretend that you were playing it for the request. Well, we get excited when our call went through. Oh, yeah. That was back during the power of radio. Radio never ever had power like that, skater. That's 6'5" too. That's me, man. Those are probably some pretty big. Even Galumbo. Doesn't take too long to figure out what's going on there. Of course, there's the always popular Scarlet Witch, Tom Gully, and then, of course, the... Jesus. Ah, brother. Okay, let me tell you about Al Capone's vault, or vaults here. The mystery of Al Capone's vaults is, or was, a 2-hour, took 2 hours, American television special that was broadcast in syndication. Okay, now this was not on a major network. It was syndicated. And let me tell you, that'll be explained here in a second. So it was hosted by Geraldo Rivera. Now, at the time, Geraldo was actually seen as a very serious and successful investigative journalist. He was like the gold standard in investigative journalism. I'm not joking. Anyway, this whole show for 2 hours built up to the live opening of a walled-off underground room in the Lexington Hotel in Chicago, once owned by Al Capone. Okay? Now, this is 1986. 30 million people watched this on television, making it, to this day, the highest rated syndicated TV special in history. All right? So, ton of people watch this damn thing. All right, do I need to go over who Al Capone is with you people? Do I really need to do that? I mean, I think everybody knows who Al Capone is, right? Do I need to? Good-looking fella, right? He's a pretty good-looking fella, right? Looks like a grouper fish. Only 9 minutes into the show, and we're all out of Manzanita Soul. I thought I was swinging it down too fast at the start of the show. What I have here, a backup. Mountain Dew Zero. So Al Capone was born in 1899 in New York. When he was 20 years old, he moved, actually, to Chicago, where he became a really awesome criminal and gangster. Gambling, alcohol, prostitution. Yeah, that was his bag. In 1925, just 6 years after arriving in Chicago, Capone took control of the Chicago organized crime syndicate. And, he was on the FBI's most wanted list. He transported and sold just oceans of alcohol during Prohibition. He planned the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, which we should probably cover on this show someday, and he was eventually indicted and convicted of not murder, not bootlegging, income tax evasion in 1931. In 1939, 8 years later, he was released from Alcatraz prison on humanitarian grounds. Why? He had very acutely advancing syphilis. He was just turning into a vegetable. Syphilis, if left unchecked, will rot your brain. It will do terrible things to you. Anyway, he died in January of 1947 in his home in Palm Island, Florida, from cardiac arrest after suffering a stroke just 1 week after his 48th birthday. So there's a little on Al Capone. But yeah, syphilis will just eat your brain. It's really what he died on. But he was apparently just a vegetable. By the time they released him from Alcatraz, he was not all there. Al wasn't all there, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, why did they think they could, take up people's time for 2 hours to unveil what might be in this vault? Could be dead people, could be machine guns, could be bootleg whiskey, could be money, could be diamonds, could be jewels, could be a safe. We don't know. So they keep building up and building up. Could it be this? Could it be that? Could it be this? And telling all these great yarns about Al Capone and the old days and 20s and Tommy guns. Well, he had previously housed his headquarters at the Metropole Hotel in Chicago, but in July of 1928, he moved to a suite at the nearby Lexington Hotel, which was a little bit nicer. And he ran his various enterprises from this hotel until he was arrested in 1931. A construction company in the 1980s planned a renovation of the entire Lexington Hotel. And while surveying the building, they discovered a number of walled-off subterranean chambers underneath the property. Now, Geraldo Rivera, who I'm hoping most of you know, but if you don't, look into him. He was, again, considered a very serious and very successful investigative journalist. He was kind of one of the first consumer protection type, investigative reporters that you see on local news. He did that, but he did it in New York City. He'd go straight up to the housing, department and start, "Ma'am, why is this lady still on the street?" He'd be one of those guys. Well, he'd been fired from ABC just a few months before this special after he criticized the network for canceling a report on the relationship between John F. Kennedy and Marilyn Monroe, something today that most of us understand that they got it on. But at the time, back in the mid-'80s, that was, no, we don't want to say anything bad about either one of those people or besmirch their reputations, even though everybody knew that was going on. So then his very first thing he didn't have a gig. These people approached him, so he hosts the Mystery of Al Capone's Vaults, which did broadcast live, syndicated but live, on April 21st, 1986. The 2-hour special, including commercials, was greatly hyped as potentially revealing great riches or dead bodies, all on live television. And this included the presence of a medical examiner in case there were any bodies found, and agents from the Internal Revenue Service to collect any of Capone's money that might be discovered. I mean, they really pulled out all the stops. When the vault was finally opened, they did find some stuff in the vault. Yeah, they did. They found dirt and several empty bottles, including one bottle that Geraldo claimed was for moonshine bathtub gin. And after several attempts to dig further into the vault, Rivera admitted defeat, voiced his disappointment to the viewers, apologizing as he thanked the excavation team for their efforts. Although it gathered criticism and became infamous for its disappointing ending, again, the program is the most watched syndicated television special ever. And after the show, Rivera was quoted as saying, "Seems like we struck out." But many years later, in 2016, he said on Fox News that he went right across the street and got tequila drunk after the special aired, then went back to his hotel room and put a "Do Not Disturb" sign on the door. However, in his 1991 autobiography, he wrote regarding the event, "My career was not over. I knew, but had just begun. And all because of a silly high-concept stunt that failed to deliver on its titillating promise." But this was not the first time a vault was opened on live TV. In 1984, a safe recovered from the shipwreck Andrea Doria was opened. During the broadcast, all that was revealed were a few silver certificates floating at the top of a waterlogged safe. Paul Gimbel, who recovered the safe and arranged the TV event, said the media felt ripped off because there wasn't a treasure. On October 28, 1987, actor Telly Savalas, I actually watched this, by the way, hosted Return to the Titanic Live, 2-hour television special broadcast from Paris. The special was also produced by John Jocelyn, who also produced The Mystery of Al Capone's Vault. So, one of the biggest and most talked about reveals, one of the most overhyped. I mean, this thing was hyped for a month. You couldn't watch TV without seeing a commercial for this thing. So, and it ended up being just some dirt. Just some dirt's all. Let me see here. Everyone knows Al Capone. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true, Karen. He paid well if you did your job, you know. SG Fanboy says, isn't Capone the one who wrote In Cold Blood? Yes, Truman Capone. Just a joke, I know. It's funny. It's a funny joke. Where is the root beer? I think I do have a couple more root beers in there, but the root beers don't have caffeine in them. When the show's on, Daddy needs caffeine. Doopa says, I can't believe I laughed at that. Hey, yo. SG Family said, I just realized that we'll be out of context later when Tom reads it, and he's going to yell at me. What's wrong with you? Dupa, I don't know what's wrong with me. I think Terry Nee is rubbing off on you. That's a good thing. Okay. Dupa says, my father was rarely disappointed with me, but he couldn't wrap his head around our family wanting to watch Geraldo Rivera. I couldn't explain wanting to watch Geraldo Rivera. Well, Geraldo also had that talk show, which was kind of Jerry Springer before Jerry Springer. It was kind of crazy. It's the mustache, Karen. It's the mustache. It's a shame Geraldo wasn't around back when they found King Tut's tomb. It really is. It really is. Poor Geraldo. Remember when he gave away the troop positions or something during the war and everybody lost their nuggets? He was trying to be I'm the war correspondent here. He's a tough guy. And I think it was live. And he went, so we're right here. He's showing it on a map. This is during one of the Gulf Wars. Other side's going, don't, General, you might want to come see this. I'm monitoring CNN, or whoever he was with at the time. I don't know. Whoever he was with at the time. It's hard to say. So now we have 6 people. Tom Gully's show is going to put a lot more effort into the show here over the next few, but better start cranking things up here. There ain't going to be no Tom Gully show. Just because I don't want to do a 6, starting all over again. It's a bunch of Hey, but the phone lines are open. 972-994-6822. Those phone lines are so open. But if you call, be peppy. Oh, God, I'm so hungry right now. I am so hungry. I forget to eat in the morning, and then, Oh, Uncle Rico just went live. Oh shit. I don't care about any of that shit. So anyway, let's see here. Randy says, if I remember, they got his tail end out of there real quick. Yes, Randy, they did. They did. Julian Zezer says, I thought the Capone's Vault thing was an early Fox production. I didn't know it was syndicated. Yes, it was. It's probably on Fox or the WB or something. Well, I don't even know if Fox was around in 86, but it was probably on it could have been on any station. It was syndicated. I remember that show ended quick, though. They came, we'll come back one more time to see, and then it was just like, we got to go by. But I watched the Al Capone's Vault. I sat there when they were like, who surrounded Al Capone? Who were his main advisors? And then they would run a pre-produced package because they knew they had to kill 2 hours. Frank Nitti was Wild Bill says, good evening, sir. Good evening to you. Julie just, it was on Fox, which only had like 5 hours of programming per day at the time. Well, it might have been on a lot of Fox stations, but it was syndicated. In other words, a show that wasn't bought or produced by a network. It was a show that was produced and then sold for broadcast one time only. It's a special syndicated. "1986, Doc Torn said he was knee-high to a grasshopper when they opened Capone's vault. I was pretty young myself. I kept telling people, there's not going to be anything in there. They kept saying, how do you know? I kept saying, because if there was anything worth anything in there, somebody would have got it out of there a long time ago. What do you think? Capone just had secret stashes of his own? No, he had people around him all the time. It didn't help the Hispanic journalism community. Well, isn't his real name is Jerry Rivers, I think. SG Fanboy says, I was not alive. Let's see if Geraldo was even. I don't know that. I think his name was Jerry Rivers. Jerry Rivers was his name. I honestly think Jerry Rivers was his name. Dang it. He's an attorney as well. He's 81 years old, ladies and gentlemen. 81 years old. Let's see. He worked at Fox News for 22 years. He had his own talk show, Geraldo, from 1987 to 1998. He's a rotating co-host of The Five. What do you know about that? Let's see. I didn't know he gotten divorced. He was married to that one chick for like forever. What was I going to try and find out about Geraldo? Oh, his original name, yes. Born Geraldo Rivera. Oh, no, he was actually born Geraldo Rivera. So he was, his mother was Jewish, his dad was Roman Catholic, and Puerto Rican, and whatever. Oh, then again, neither was Capone. No, the SIF got his brain. The vault was dug out under the sidewalk as a way to expand the basement. There's some buildings like that. It's a building in Chicago. It's going to have a big basement no matter what. In the city of Chicago, basement's quite common. I'd be surprised if a building did not have a big basement. SG, did you know about this topic before tonight? I don't think you did, because I didn't know about it until today. SG Family said, I did. I've even seen the footage. I've never seen one so embarrassed. He's going to donate his mustache to the Smithsonian. God, I don't know why. That's what I remember, Geraldo's embarrassment, and I felt bad for him. Let me see if I can find that. Because he did give away like troop positions or some shit. He thought he was so tight with all these people. And thanks. Good Lord. Stupid phone. Okie dokie. It's just trying to. There we go. Here, let's check it out here. Career. Early stages. Talk shows. Guest appearances. Fox News. He left CNBC November 2001. He claimed to be at the scene of a friendly fire incident and was later revealed he was actually 300 miles away. He blamed a minor misunderstanding for that. Controversy arose in early 2003 while Rivera was traveling with the 101st Airborne Division damn it, in Iraq. During a Fox News broadcast, Rivera began to disclose an upcoming operation, even going so far as to draw a map in the sand for his audience and for enemy troops. The military immediately issued a firm denunciation of his actions, saying it had put the operation at risk. Rivera was expelled from Iraq. 2 days later, he announced he would be reporting on the Iraq conflict from Kuwait. He then began drawing a map in the sand of where... kidding. In 2005, Rivera engaged in a feud with the New York Times over their allegations that he pushed aside a member of a rescue team in order to be filmed assisting a woman in a wheelchair down some steps in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. Brother. I could go through all these controversies, but they're so ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, Geraldo. Nothing in the vault, Geraldo. That wasn't his fault. I didn't feel bad for him or not feel bad for him because it wasn't his fault. It was that just so we're gonna find it. That's the whole purpose of the show is find out what's in there. Nobody knew. If they knew, they'd say, "Hey, we found some stuff." Julian Zeger says open source intelligence is a huge problem or opportunity for spying on other countries. Geraldo seems to invent it. Yes. Tom, how did Geraldo not anticipate the possibility of the vault being empty? I'm sure he anticipated it. I'm sure they were paying him to pretend that that was impossible or not even mention it. But I mean, if I put myself in his shoes, if somebody came to me right now and said, "Hey, Tom, we're gonna, vault, blah 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 blah," and it's like, so basically, I'm just hosting this show, and if we find something, we'll talk about it, and if we don't, we go, "Sorry." Yeah, that's basically it. All right. Julian Caesar, Senator Andrew J. May in World War II gave away info to reporters that resulted in the sinking of up to 10 U.S. submarines, so Geraldo wasn't quite as careless. Well, you make a good point, but by the same token, I don't think Geraldo had that kind of information. If he had that kind of information, I'm sure he would have accidentally spilled it. He's just a walking ego. So what are you going to do? Dear God, we got 20 more minutes of this crap. Oh, yeah, like, share, subscribe. Make sure and tell all your friends. Super chats, and also turn on your gifted memberships there. I'm supposed to say stuff like that from time to time. A Geraldo-sized ego should be a figure of speech. Yeah, it should be a Herigo. Didn't he get his nose broken when there was like a KKK fight or something on his stage? I remember somebody threw a chair. Hey now. There's the one and only Sandy Eastman from Las Vegas. She is very busy in Las Vegas today. She's very busy. She's working hard. Hopefully she either got something different than a minivan or she's got a shorter car so she can watch the roof of it. Julian Caesar, agree. He'd been married like 4 or 5 times. He was married to that Cece chick, and it was this, big story of how Geraldo wasn't womanizing anymore, and he was just Cece had finally settled him down, and they had life together. And blah, 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 blah. And about 24 years ago, he started screwing around on her like crazy. Now he's with somebody else for the last 21 years. Now maybe he'll kick her to the curb and get a new one. I don't know. He's 81. Maybe he can't do that anymore. It's probably when Cece's started taking on some of the characteristics of Al Capone's vault that he decided, none for me, thanks. Hey, apparently there's a big event going to be taking place here in just 3 days, is it? Out there in Rochester, New York. Sure. DabbleCon 2. I know everybody's really excited about it. Let's see. Geraldo versus Frank Stallone boxing match. Anyone remember that? I do remember that was going to happen. I don't remember who won the fight. That was back when Geraldo was lifting and was all shredded, Yeah, you're 5'2", dude. You look like a gargoyle. Scrapple in the apple. Scrapple. I love Scrapple. Anybody else here know what Scrapple is? I loves me for some Scrapple. I would really love some breakfast for dinner right now. I'd love some scrambled eggs with cheese, bacon, hash browns, English muffins right now. That's what I want. It ain't happening. But that's what I want. I like to cook, and I certainly like to remember to get the things I need when I'm at the grocery store. But, it'd be nice if there was a chef here in the dwelling that I could go, chef, would you make me that? Scrapple. Anybody else like Scrapple? It's a breakfast meat product made from fried pork scraps, cornmeal, wheat flour, and spices. God, I love Scrapple. I don't think ours is as official as the one that they have in the definition. Julian Ziesel also loves Scrapple. Dupa Karen Garvey says, used to love Scrapple, but haven't had it since I was a kid. Didn't realize they still make it. Oh, they'll never stop making Scrapple. Randy says, I just had a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. I'm jealous, except for the biscuit part. I don't get those breakfast. I never get a biscuit because it's just dry and huge and it just makes things tough. I get a croissant or I get an English muffin. I don't get nothing. The doctor says, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. Oh, yeah. Yes. And I'm not going to get what I want. But I am going to get chicken Caesar salad. And something else. And I don't know what the something else is. But I know it's going to be salty. That I do know. Salty and flavorful. Because that salad, man, sometimes that salad just don't cut it. Julien Zizel says, I had Caesar salad for lunch, but no chicken, alas. Man. Thank you for erasing the songs at the beginning of the show. Huh? What the hell are you talking about? Bacon. That something else is bacon. God, bacon. Bacon, bacon, bacon. I don't really do breakfast anymore. Uh-oh. I can hear it, but I know you can't hear it yet. Hey, welcome to the club, Doc Torn. Here you go. It's coming. There you go. Hear that? Like to strangle that guy. Hope he rolls under a gas truck and tastes his own blood. Strangulated cries from help, drowned out by mouthfuls of his own hemoglobin. All right, so Dupa says she has the Rolling Stones in her head now, and not the songs from the beginning of the show, those one-hit wonders that we was talking about. You know, like Angie Baby by Helen Reddy. Or Chevy Van. Gave a girl a ride in my wagon. She walked in and took control. I was late and my mind was a dragging. She said, get some sleep and dream of rock and roll. And like a vision, she was laying there, moonlight dancing through her hair. She woke up and took me by the hand. We made love in my Chevy van, and that's all right with me. How about that one? The doctor says, Roger that, Dupa. Roger and Wilco. Roger. I'm closing the phone lines. If no one's calling in, there's no reason for me to just sit there and stare at that software. It's ridiculous. I got to rethink this show. So, apparently, back in the mid-'70s, if you had a Chevy van that was suitably, laden with amenities in the back, you could just pick up girls driving through random towns and, what about the nights the lights went out in Georgia? It's a little different of a thing because there's a storytelling song. But I think once you get into the country area, which that I think was a hit country and regular. But yeah. That's the night when they hung an innocent man. By the gods, I ain't thought of the Chevy Van song since I was a youngin'. Oh, Jesus. Chevy Van. I gave a girl. Flatbed Fords work in Winslow, Arizona. I bet you they do. A ride in my wagon. She walked in, took control. What about what's a song called Gold or something? When the lights go down in the California town and people are in for the evening. And they jump into the car and anyway. Chef, that's more a song about Fafo. I don't know what that is. but I know it's about that. So I don't know what FAFO is. First in, first out. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. What damn song is now? Now I gotta find out that damn song, you people. You've driven me to learn. Sorry, I could just be going, When the lights go down. Yeah, it's called Gold. It's by Jon Stewart. There you go. People are in for the evening. Dupa says, 1974 says, come and get your love. Killer Queen. Now I'm full of nasty habits till the bitch gets back. Uh-huh. No woman, no cry. All right, Fafo. Okay, I got you. Sorry. Julian Caesar says, how come Queen was so good at movie soundtracks? I don't know. They're just good. Come and get your love. Hey, what's the matter with your head, baby mine? Please don't divine. Come and get your love. Boom, 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 boom. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with the gangster lean. Ooh. Justifying hope for what we got. Yeah. Yeah. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with the gangster lean, you know. Yeah, a lot of good songs from the back in the day. I liked, we used to have instrumentals back in the 70s. Like the theme from Shaft, theme from the Rockford Files. Those were big instrumentals. That Chuck Mangione, Feels So Good. That was a big one. But then there was one, it was called, I think, what was the name of the song? It was by The Sound of Philadelphia. I don't remember the name of the song. It might have been, seriously, the name of the song might have been TSOP, which stood for Sound of Philadelphia, but pretty sure that was an instrumental. Sound of Philadelphia. Boom. TSOP. The Sound of Philadelphia. Sound of Philadelphia is a 1974 recording by MFSB featuring vocals by the 3 Degrees. And it was written by some guys as the theme for Soul Train. Well, I'll be damned. And it is called TSOP. It's an instrumental. People all over the world. People all over the world. Huh. The Sound of Philadelphia. What else we got here? Hung Into Love was theme song of Bill Burr's F is for Family. Perfect choice. You got that right. Sound of Philly. I like the Sound of Silence. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Of Come to talk to you again. My favorite song from Simon and Garfunkel is one that many of you have never heard before. Some of you have, but many of you haven't. And it's called The Only Living Boy in New York. Let's see here. I'm going to just paraphrase for Julian Caesar. As a Philadelphian, I can tell you that the sound of Philadelphia is just a bunch of four-letter words shouted very loudly. Yeah. I got to say this. I'm not saying this to be a jerk or anything like this, because I know a lot of people from Philadelphia, and I don't necessarily have a beef with the people that I know, but I've interacted with a lot of people that I don't know from Philadelphia, and I have to say, Philadelphia, I have not had one good interaction with all those people. Not one. Not a single one. And the last time I went through Philadelphia was on a layover. I just wanted to. I went and got a piece of pizza or something because I was going to be there for a while. And after about 10 minutes around them, I just wanted to shove everybody's food off their table and slap them in the face. I mean, it was, why are you this way? And everybody at that airport looked like they had their hair done in like 1978. It's all these industrial strength haircuts, and I don't know, man. Like, Julian is cool. He's from Philadelphia. Uncle Jack's from Philly. He's cool. But, man, there's a lot of people that I've met from Philly that, whew. Hence, I don't go to Philadelphia. I try not to go to the East Coast. I know that's not on the coast, but the eastern part of the country at all. It's just a lot of very poorly adjusted folks there, you know. And some great folks and some, you know, great things to do. And I mean, I used to live and work in New York, and I'm like, what's the big attraction? It's another place, only everybody's packed nut to butt and that whole, I mean, it's just, you're just packed in and nothing's easy and crowded and dirty and smelly and yelling and opinions and yeah, forget it. Let's see here. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. Good night to you there. Good night. Karen Garvey, says Tom. Philadelphia airport is the worst. My family is from Philadelphia. I love my family. They would totally agree. It is. Most airports now are expansive and have high ceilings and are open. And Philadelphia, the ceiling's really low. You're packed into these little. It's awful. I think in their defense that they were rebuilding parts of it, and they had rebuilt that food court, but the food court was so probably not big enough, and it was packed with people. It was just a wall of people. And people, again, with, you know, it was summertime. They're wearing 3 layers of clothes. It's just, this town is, I don't know. But that's one of my least favorite airports. And it was a flight that I booked direct. And then when I got to the airport, they, you know, anyone on flight 1151 to blah, 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 report to the ticket desk. I went over and they told me that flight's no more. You have to have this layover. And I'm just like looking at this lady like, in Philadelphia. Man, there better be some vouchers flying out of your ass pretty fast, lady. Because layover, no. There are no signs at the Philadelphia airport. No, no, no. It still sucks. Other airports are so easy to figure out. I know it. And Philadelphia airport, too, it'll be like right in the middle of a concourse. There'll be a giant thing blocking the like a store that sells T-shirts or something. And you're like, am I supposed to go around this? Yeah. We go to other states to fly. I hear you. I used to do the same thing here in Dallas. There was a period of time when I wouldn't fly out of Dallas Airport, DFW Airport. I would only fly out of and into, if possible. The into, coming back, I wasn't so worried about. Unless, of course, I had a car parked somewhere. But usually it was, I started going out of Love Field. And then, somebody transgressed the unwritten law at Love Field and ticked me off one day, and then we were done with them. You just go to DFW and suffer. But after my last flight experience, I don't know that I'm getting on another plane. Now, I will tell you this. I would have gone to DabbleCon if there was a direct flight. I would have. And maybe for something I will someday. But, man, I think I might be done flying. I can tell you this. If somebody says come to Los Angeles, I'll just take the train. I know. It's like a day and a half. I don't care. Books, podcasts, whatever. Little stops, get off in Tucson, run, get a sandwich. But flying, I think I might be done. Now I say that, but maybe, I guess I would do it for work. By the way, it's dangerous. I don't care what anybody says. What are you doing today? I'm getting in a metal tube, traveling 600 miles an hour, 25,000 feet in the sky, and hoping that a bunch of guys, unionized, working for the lowest price the airlines can get the unions to agree to pay. Hopefully they did all their job. Nobody's mad. Nobody's hungover. Because it wouldn't take much. And you will be plummeting out of the sky. Plummeting, I say. Do you guys been noticing how much time and effort I've been putting into my name on the show lately? Different custom name for each show. Do you realize that takes me anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds? The amount of work I have to put in. DabbleCon 3 on the West Coast. So many fans in the West. Well, see, nobody asked me. But if they had, I would have said, what you guys need to do is Dabblepalooza. And you need to have like over a 4-week period, 4 straight weekends, 1 in each time zone. So you do Rochester, Illinois, New York. Then you do Chicago. Then you do Dallas. You just say, forget the mountain time zone. We're not doing this for the Mormons. And then you do LA. You're done. The Doctorn says, plummeting, you say. Yes, plummeting indeed. Let's see here. 45 seconds of backbreaking labor. Yes. This is bad. Karen Garvey says, that's 5 minutes every week on your name, Tom. What? What? What's 45? I don't understand that. What is 5 minutes every week on my name? Maybe I'm just getting too old to do this show. Maybe that's it. But when I see it, that I can't. As I used to say to my students, pronouns a fine thing, but oh, that's 5. I got you. Tamalo took 45 to 60, but it doesn't take the whole week. It's just, oh, I see what you're saying. So 5 minutes every week. Less than that. 30 to 45. I mean, you know. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, that old clock on the wall says it's time. I thought this was going to be an exciting show. It turned out to be a real dud. You know, Tom, you need to eat something. I will later, at some point. But we'll be back here on Thursday night. Are they still doing a show, the replayables, on Wednesday? Because I go to bed now after I do the show. I don't stay up like I used to when I worked from home. Because if they're not, then I will. But if they are, then I won't. What do we got here? Oh, wow. Mountain America Credit Union has had to freeze all their transfers prior to the 13th of August in 2024. Unfortunately, they put that date in European style, not in U.S. style, the scammers. And they're asking me to call in, protect my account, and I don't have anything at Mountain America Credit Union, so. Let's see here. If you stop doing this show, how will we know who rocks the wave like a sunshine hurricane? I don't know, man. They do it on Wednesdays at 8 and on Saturdays. Okay. I thought they were doing it on Friday. Bunch of crap. Well, I know I quit doing mine on Friday because they were doing theirs on Friday. Of course, and I told them that too, but heaven forbid anybody would call me up and say, hey, we're doing ours on Saturday now, so Friday's open. Nobody's, But they, like myself, probably figured out pretty quick, nobody watches these shows on Friday. Friday is a waste of a show. Now, I'm the guy that's getting, was getting a couple hundred, whatever, views, 6 weeks ago, and now I'm getting 30, but trust me, nobody watches Friday show. Should have done a simulcast, replayables and the vomit show. Well, that's almost like a special into itself. It's a bonus, members only bonus content. We interview Chris Abels about vomiting on live stream. Or anybody else. I think, didn't Bob Levy heave a little bit on that show one time? I mean, everybody pukes that goes on there, except for me, of course. Because I'm too much of a wuss to drink on their program. But Jeepers Creepers, that old clock on the wall. Do I want to eat first, or do I want to do some other stuff? I'm going to do some other stuff first. Then I'm going to eat. Yeah. It's already 8 o'clock, man. All right, kids. I would like to thank everybody who showed up today. Randy Ramos, of course, Karen Garvey, Doc Torn, Wild Bill was here. Julian Zezer certainly was here. SG Fanboy stopped in for a while. Somebody said they were just going to be watching. I'm trying to find their thing. Oh, well, I can't find it. But anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for being here. You guys are awesome. Seriously. Without you, I just don't know what I'd do. However, Thursday night. Till next time. We'll see you next time.